So today we will be reading about few purports of Srila Prabhupada and then try to understand the glories of Srila Prabhupada. So,
Radha Prabhu, I think voice is still low. What do you think, Radha Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Now it's a bit again low.
Yes, Prabhu.
Not like earlier. I don't know whether
is
he's
it now?
speaking. Prabhu,
How
again
is
one
it
more.
now?
Now better. You are maybe sitting far from microphone. Or...
Hare Krishna.
Now it's better, Prabhu. Good.
Okay.
You stick there to the collar.
How is it now?
Good, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, so we'll be discussing about reading Srila Prabhupada books. If at all, if someone wants to speak, they can actually speak by first giving a raising their hand, and then you can speak. Otherwise, it will be difficult for me to hear your voice. So we'll see Srila Prabhupada purport actually fulfills so many things and teaches so many things. So many a times you may feel that Srila Prabhupada purports are repetitive, or sometimes it seems monotonous for those who have read Srila Prabhupada purports for good time. कुछ लोग को ऐसे लगता होगा कि प्रभुपाद के purports जो है सेम चीज बता रहे बारंबार, तो हम आज ऐसे प्रयास करेंगे कि श्री प्रभुपाद के purports कितना महत्वपूर्ण है वो जानेंगे. So first we will see how Srila Prabhupada purports are the essence of the previous acharyas. So first we will see Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is called as the seventh Goswami. क्यों? क्योंकि जब 6 Goswamis वृंदावन गए थे, one of the valuable contributions what 6 Goswamis gave to all the humanity is they have published books. They have published the Bhakti Shastras. So they have taken it from many of the Upanishads and the Puranas, और वो सब चीज को एक जगह पे संग्रह करके रखे हुए. So that collection is an immense gift to all the humanity, especially to those who wants to lead their lives in Bhakti Yoga. तो उसके बाद कालानुसार में बहुत सारे परिवर्तन हुए थे. In all those changes, many new things were cropped inside the system, and the original teachings of 6 Goswamis were eclipsed by many of the other things. तो ये सारी चीजों में बहुत सारे जो गोस्वामी गण ने जो दिया है वो छुप गए थे. तो भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर, he published so many literatures exactly how Goswamis, Shad Goswamis have published the literatures. Like that, Bhakti Vinod Thakur has published many literatures which actually brings out the original teachings of Lord Chaitanya to the common people. तो उसमें से बहुत सारे शास्त्र जो है वो नाम, भगवान के नाम के बारे में बताए. So his books contribute good amount in discussing about the holy names of the Lord. Like नाम भजन हो गया, हरिनाम चिंतामणि हो गया. So like this, there are many books which were written by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So that essence of the holy name is being carried by Srila Prabhupada in his life also and in his teachings also. One such example where we can find here is from CC Adilila 9.51. So tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. This is the perfectional stage of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and eating the fruit of love of God as exhibited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One should not artificially imitate this stage, but if one is serious and sincerely follows the regulative principles and chants the Hare Krishna mantra, the time will come when these symptoms will appear. कौन से symptoms? Tears will fill his eyes. He will be unable to chant the Maha Mantra distinctly, and his heart will throb in ecstasy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that one should not imitate this, but a devotee should long for the day to come when such symptoms of trance will automatically appear in his body. Sri Prabhupada is an acharya where he wants to give the highest, and also he wants to define the adhikar of the practitioners who wants to attain that highest thing. अगर देखा जाए तो हमारा सबका जो साध्य जो है, that is the aspiration, aim, final goal, वो ये stage है. That is when we chant the holy names of the Lord, then tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain. और this is nothing but the शिक्षाष्टकम का 7th verse है ये. आश्रिष्य पाप नहीं. What is the 7th verse of शिक्षाष्टकम, where it says Govinda Virahe Name. So by the whole world feels vacant in your absence. So that stage is the perfectional stage. लेकिन उस समय में, भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर के समय में, there were many apasampradayas. He is one acharya who has found 13 apasampradayas and named them and their characteristics. When we know what is a duplicate material, then it is easy for us to actually identify an original thing. तो ऐसे करके 13 अपसंप्रदायस का लक्षण बताया था. तो ये सारे चीज उस समय में भी थे और अभी भी कुछ मात्रा में है. So one should not artificially imitate this stage. Shri Prabhupada is warning. तो फिर अधिकार क्या है, कौन प्रैक्टिस करना चाहिए, तो फिर हम करना चाहिए कि नहीं. तो जैसे हम ये सारी चीज जब पढ़ते हैं तो करना क्या है, तो श्री प्रभुपाद इज आंसरिंग. लेकिन अगर कोई सीरियस है तो करना क्या है, they need to sincerely follow the regulative principles. तो 4 नियम पहले पालन करना चाहिए. कुछ लोग सहजियास क्या करते हैं, वो गोपी जैसे ड्रेस कर लेते हैं, और रासलीला में कृष्ण के रासलीला जो है सर्वोत्तम है, और उस स्टेज को नकल करने के लिए वो खुद बन बन जाते हैं गोपी, और कृष्ण एक बन जाते हैं और आपस में रासलीला करते हैं। तो ऐसे होते होते ऐसे स्थिति बन गई कि द वुमेन वेर बिकमिंग पोल्यूटेड एंड दे वेर बिकमिंग प्रेग्नेंट इन द कोर्स ऑफ ऑल दिस। तो वैष्णविज्म को बहुत स्कैंडलिज्म जैसे ट्रीट करना चालू कर दिया था। तो एक समय बंगाल में वैष्णविज्म को कुछ आदर भी नहीं था। सो Srila Prabhupada, coming from all this background, is saying first follow the regulative principles, चार नियम पालन करो और हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र चैंटिंग करो, और जब हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र जपते रहेंगे, and then over a period of time when mind and intelligence, material intelligence is purified, then automatically ये जो symptoms है वो आएंगे आप। The tears will fill his eyes. He will be unable to chant the Mahamantra distinctly. So, अभी एक्सटर्नल सिम्टम्स के बारे में बात करें तो इंटरनल सिम्टम क्या है? His heart will throb in ecstasy. तो ये सब समझने के बाद वार्निंग क्या दे रहे? इमिटेट मत कीजिए। ठीक है, इमिटेट नहीं करना है, लेकिन हमारे स्तर से हमको क्या करना चाहिए वो तो बताना चाहिए। So further Srila Prabhupada is telling, but a devotee should long for the day to come when such symptoms of trance will appear automatically in his body. तो अभी के स्टेज में what should we do? That is, we need to long. What? Long मतलब अभिलाषा रखना चाहिए, greed, we need to have that greed, eagerness रहना चाहिए. So when would that day come when I can actually attain that stage? So that element, if we can cultivate at this stage, then that is the right thing to follow at this stage. So in this way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur के जो teachings है, so that has been given in the purports. Next is Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज को जैसे हम याद करते हैं तो immediately we remember what a kind of vairagi he was. He is such a personality where he was, I mean, figuratively, he was taking a broomstick and he is actually trying to show off the fame person. अगर कोई कीर्ति का एक मूर्ति है, वो अगर आ रहे पीछे पीछे, तो उनको एक्चुअली एक झाड़ू लेके उनको भगा रहे। सो आई डोंट वांट दिस नेम फेम, ये पूजा प्रतिष्ठा मुझे नहीं चाहिए, ऐसे करके अपने जीवन शैली जो है बिताया है। सो ये साक्षात वैराग्य मूर्ति। सो फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम 11 to 42. So if you come to the spiritual platform, the test is that you have no material necessities. So long you are deceased, you require medicine. But when you are not deceased, there is no need of medicine. It is the healthy state. So long we are materially deceased, we require all these material necessities. So when you are on the spiritual platform, there is no material. Nidrahara viharikadi vichito. Then you conquer over even our prime necessities: eating, sleeping, mating, and defense. The prime necessities, you don't require. You will sleep less, you will eat less. There is no need of mating. What is? There is very less. So the lesser you become, That means spiritual. Bhakti pareshan bhavo virakti anyatasya. So this verse is actually from Srimad Bhagavatam 11:2. So if you see this, in one sense, we can clearly see the life of Srila Prabhupada when we are reading this. And indeed, he lived like at the flag end of his life, voluntarily, he fasted. He did not take, for a few weeks, he did not take any solid food. He was only sustaining himself on the liquid body. I mean, by taking the liquid food. And he is such an acharya who taught not only how to live in this world, but also how to leave this world. So इसमें बताते हैं कि अगर हम स्पिरिचुअल एडवांस होंगे तो हमारा मटेरियल नेसेसिटीज ऑटोमेटिकली कम हो जाएंगे, और अगर हम सच्ची में एडवांस हो रहे नहीं हो रहे करके अगर पता चलना है तो कैसे पता चल सकता है? एक टेस्ट है करके बता रहे, तो हमारा मटेरियल नेसेसिटीज जो है बहुत कम हो जाता है। वैसे श्रील प्रभुपाद केवल 3 घंटे सोते थे, और दिन में, और सुबह सुबह मॉर्निंग वॉक के लिए जब जाते थे, सो हिज पेस वाज सो मच दैट द teenagers or the youngsters who are tall bodied Americans, they are unable to catch up his speed. तो उनको थोड़ा ज़्यादा फास्ट चलना पड़ता था. So he is completely beyond this material necessities. तो एक बार yeah, we'll discuss that. And then here Srila Prabhupada is saying, then you conquer over even our prime necessities, that is eating, sleeping, mating and defense. So गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज को जब बहुत सारे लोग आके कुछ कुछ प्रश्न पूछते थे, तो गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज इज लाइक ए भजनानंदी. So in order to keep all these people visiting them is making him famous, and he doesn't want that fame. So he thought this is a disturbance for my bhajan. So he used to go and sit in the washroom and chant his rounds. Happily he is absorbed in chanting the holy names of the Lord. So for them, not only the gross necessities as mentioned, material necessities, but also the subtle material needs, is completely aloof from all these things. ये सारे चीज से परे थे. So in that way, Srila Prabhupada has lived and also has taught the teachings of Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. So there's a very beautiful excerpt from a very small book, that is Elevation to Krishna Consciousness, from chapter 2. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is one revolutionary acharya who came in Rolls Royce, and he used to get down and then he used to go to give programs. So he is one such acharya who combined the material luxuries with Krishna. That is called as Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya is a principle which was taught by Sri Rupa Goswami. तो युक्ता मतलब क्या है? Joining. Vairagya. So Vairagya means detachment. डिटैचमेंट जनरली हमारे दिमाग में जब आता है तो इट इज लाइक सेपरेशन, और युक्ता जब आता है इट इज लाइक कंबाइन, joining. But Rupa Goswami is such a beautiful acharya who combined both these words. That is joining and separation. दोनों को एक जगह पे रखा है. इट इज सच ए ऑक्सीमोरॉन. क्या है ये युक्त वैराग्य? युक्त वैराग्य का पहला चीज जो होना चाहिए वो वैराग्य होना चाहिए. दैट इज इंटरनली दे आर डिटैच्ड. अंदर से उनको किसी इंद्रिय वस्तु पे आसक्ति नहीं है. दे आर नॉट अटैच्ड टू एनी ऑफ द सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट्स, बट they don't reject that, thinking that it is useless in the service of the Lord. ये भगवान की सेवा में यूज अगर कर पाते हैं तो उस चीजों को भगवान की सेवा में उपयोग करते हैं, तो उसको युक्ति बोलते हैं. दे आर कंबाइनिंग दैट ऑब्जेक्ट इन द सर्विस ऑफ द लॉर्ड, even though it may be a Rolls Royce or the wealth or the big luxurious temples or gold, whatever it can be. But internally, they don't want to enjoy anything from that. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is one revolutionary acharya who built big marble temples in Bagh Bazaar. And Srila Prabhupada, following in the footsteps, he also did the same. So once one person asked Srila Prabhupada, आप इतने बड़े बड़े मंदिर बनाते हैं, क्यों आप इतना बड़े बड़े मंदिर बनाते हैं? So Srila Prabhupada said, अब भगवान के लिए इतने बड़े मंदिर नहीं होगा तो किसके लिए होना चाहिए? And he said, if I make small jhopadpatti, would you be really ready to come and see the lordships over there? So he also understood the mentality of the people. So what is he doing? He is using the material energy so that he can attract the conditioned souls closer to Krishna. So that is yukti. And what is vairagya? Vairagya is he is not using the gold or the things for one's own sense gratification alone. So that is the yukta vairagya. So let us read from the highest executive in his skyscraper office down to the coolie in the street. All are working with the thought of accumulating wealth, legally or illegally. Actually, it is all illegal. For to work for one's self-interest is both unlawful and destructive. I'll read this again. Actually, it is all illegal. For to work for one's self-interest is both unlawful and destructive. Even the cultivation of spiritual realization for one's own self-interest is unlawful and destructive. The point is that all activities must be directed to the satisfaction of Krishna and his service. So at this point of time, we will open this platform for a discussion. What do you think of this paragraph? इसमें why Srila Prabhupada is saying actually it is all illegal. क्यों सबको illegal क्यों बोल रहे हैं?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, because everything is meant for the satisfaction of Krishna.
ये हरे कृष्ण, एक मिनट रुकिए. Yes, you can speak.
Prabhuji, I think what I understood is that everything is meant for the satisfaction of Krishna. Jiva is not the enjoyer. Jiva is Prakriti, and Krishna is the Purusa. So Purusa is the enjoyer, and everything should be used in the service of Purusa. Then only Prakriti can be happy or satisfied.
Okay, if that is so, indeed, actually उसका आंसर जो है वो बगल में दे दिया है. For to work for one's self-interest is both unlawful and destructive. Unlawful क्यों बोला है?
तो जैसे यहाँ पे ये वर्ड आया है सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट, तो श्रीमद् भागवतम में वो आता है नाते विदु स्वार्थ गति में विष्णु. सो
हम्म.
वहां पे जो स्वार्थ गति है वो सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट है. वो हमें सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट इज टू वर्क फॉर विष्णु.
हम्म. करेक्ट.
तो,
असली जो
तो
सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट जो है दैट इज टू वर्क फॉर विष्णु. सो अगर धर्म देखेंगे, लॉ मतलब क्या है इन अनदर सेंस धर्म. तो धर्म के हिसाब से भी देखेंगे तो वन ऑफ द कोर प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ फॉलोइंग धर्म इज not to be self-interested, but to become self-interested. That is self-conscious, atma-interested. So that is an understanding, one understanding. And also Srimad Bhagavatam tells, Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. So this is 112. So Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo. इसका मतलब क्या है? धर्म को तिरस्कार कर. ये क्या है? भागवतम के दूसरी श्लोका में धर्म को तिरस्कार करने के लिए बोल रहे. तो इसमें बता रहे कौन सा धर्म है? कैतव धर्म. कैतव मीन्स चीटिंग. तो चीटिंग रिलीजियन को श्रीमद् भागवतम तिरस्कार कर रही है. तो चीटिंग क्या है? कौन सा धर्म चीटिंग है? जो कर्म योगा, ध्यान योगा और ज्ञान योगा, ये जो है दे आर चीटिंग बिकॉज देयर इज एन एलिमेंट ऑफ सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट इन दैट. तो उसके लिए दैट इज कंसिडर्ड एज कैतव धर्म. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the text which extols the glories of Kevala Bhakti, that is pure devotion to Lord Shri Krishna. तो इसमें जब कर रहे स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिस कर रहे, इन दैट भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर का टीचिंग्स एंड श्रील प्रभुपाद का टीचिंग्स, that is even the cultivation of spiritual realization for one's own self-interest is unlawful and destructive. अगर कोई मैं अपने लिए, मेरे स्वार्थ के लिए मैं कोई भी ये योग पद्धति लेके मैं अगर कर रहा हूँ, दैट बिकम्स अनलॉ एंड डिस्ट्रक्टिव. तो फिर करना क्या है? स्पिरिचुअल रियलाइजेशन फॉर वंस ओन सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट जो है वो भी नहीं करना है क्या? आइडियली द हाईएस्ट थिंग आवर आचार्यस आर गिविंग इज, जो भी कर रहे हैं वो केवल हमारे लिए नहीं, कृष्ण और उनके भक्तों के प्रसन्नता के लिए अगर कर रहे, दैट इज द सेंट्रल पॉइंट ऑफ भक्ति योग. कभी कभी हम भी साधना करते हैं और ये करते हैं, इट्स गुड, बट इफ दे आर ट्राइंग टू डू सो दैट वन कैन बिकम प्योर, ओके गुड, but that is not the highest thing what bhakti teaches. Actually, the bhakti teaches us whatever the activities which we are able to do. I just came across a very beautiful statement by His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj. I'll try to read that statement as it is. So the statement says, actual qualification to be in the Sankirtana movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not to be strict, not to be expert at self-torture, or the performance of some kind of austerities. Now comes the interesting point. It is careful performance of all activities for the pleasure of Krishna, to purify not only the body but also to purify the mind. When the mind is purified, the body will automatically be purified. The central point is careful performance of all activities for the pleasure of Krishna. So that is the central point. So it is coming down the same teachings through the Guru Parampara. So any points of discussion till now? Before we move ahead to the next section, किसी को कुछ बोलना है?
Destructive. Why it is mentioned here? Destructive, Prabhu. Unlawful. Understood unlawful. And then destructive is
Yeah,
self-destructive.
because they will lose the opportunity to actually go to the higher realms. So that will again spiral down into this material world. They are coming into the path of yoga, but they are not able to get the highest thing. They may reach at most to the Brahman level, but again they have to come down into this material world.
So unlawfully is because of the Saitava Dharma.
Because the element of self-interest still remains.
Okay, bro.
Okay, so we'll go to the next. Now we are moving to the second thing. So till now we have been discussing that how Srila Prabhupada purports include the essence of all the previous acharyas. So we haven't discussed many of the things of Krishna Chakravarti Thakur, but if you want to see this one term in this Bhaktivinoda Thakur ka, but a devotee should long for the day to come. This one word long ये जो है इसके ऊपर almost Krishna Chakravarti Thakur का एक chapter of a particular book is there. There's only one word, longing for Krishna. That is called as greed, laulyam. So that is the only qualification what a devotee wants. And how can he get it? Only the devotee who has that laulyam can transfer it into the heart of the person who is looking for it, who is sincerely serving. So that's the process. Now we are going to the second section, that is the practical insights what Srila Prabhupada purports offer to us. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 141 purport. So here Srila Prabhupada is saying personal realization does not mean that one should, out of vanity, attempt to show one's own learning by trying to surpass the previous acharya. He must have full confidence in the previous acharya, and at the same time, he must realize the subject matter so nicely that he can present the matter for the particular circumstances in a suitable manner. The original purpose of the text must be maintained. No obscure meaning should be screwed out of it. Yet, it should be presented in an interesting manner for the understanding of the audience. This is called realization. This is a wonderful definition of realization. So, abhi tak generally we use the word, Prabhuji, I have one realization when I went to Jagannath Puri. Yes, that is true. We have realized, we have experienced that, and we are sharing that experience. But the deeper purport, what Srila Prabhupada tells, what is realization? And this is how Srila Prabhupada has written his commentaries also. Let us read one statement, a statement. Personal realization does not mean that one should out of vanity means out of nowhere, attempt to show one's own learning by trying to surpass the previous acharya. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita there is an episode where Sri Vallabhacharya comes and he tries to explain the commentary of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in that explanation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understands that he is surpassing Swami. That he is indicating Swami means Sridhar Swami. That is, in his own sampradaya, he is surpassing Sridhar Swami. So that is, of course, this example is a very lofty one because it is between two great souls. So from our perspective, we need to understand that it is a part of the play where they want to teach a particular lesson. Here we are not to actually criticize the Vallabhacharya or to uh, say that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he can actually correct Vallabhacharya, not taking both the sides, but taking it in a neutral platform to understand what lessons we can actually learn. So, if at all, if one thinks that I am trying to explain a particular concept, never one should have the understanding that they are able to surpass the previous acharya's understanding. So if someone is trying to do that, then that does not actually fit into this criteria. That is realization. Second statement says, he must have full confidence in the previous acharya. That is the qualification. Even a person who is giving a class, sitting on the Vyasasana, or he is trying to write the commentary, for example, on the purports of Srila Prabhupada or the Purvacharyas, kaise. So this is first thing which they need to be having, that conviction that they have complete confidence in the previous acharya. And at the same time, it is not just ABCD sort of understanding, but whatever has been spoken or written, that needs to be realized. So that is the second thing. First is one should have complete confidence. Second is उनका पूरा सब्जेक्ट मैटर में अच्छा से प्रैक्टिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग और एक्सपीरियंस रियलाइजेशन होना चाहिए. और प्रेजेंट कैसे करना है ये सब होने के बाद, that he can present the matter for the particular circumstances in a suitable manner. देश काल पात्र के हिसाब से उनको कैसे प्रेजेंट करना है, तो that also he should know. It is like, for example, Srila Prabhupada, in many of his conversations, he said scientists as rascals. They are fool number one. They are moodhas. So he has used such kind of language. So for example, आप में से किसी को अगर साइंटिफिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में बुला लिया एक सेमिनार देने के लिए साइंटिस्ट को, या आईआईएससी में या इसरो में या बीआरसी में टीआईएफआर में. So if we copy paste, because we have full confidence in the previous acharyas and we are actually doing control C control V over there, then it may not work. So according to Deshakala Patra, one needs to convey the mood. When Srila Prabhupada is actually saying the scientists are rascals, he wants to de-glamorize our glamour for science and technology would be all in all. Science and technology is not bad, but the understanding of science and technology as all in all is the biggest illusion at that point of time, even now. So how can we present? So for an example, it can be presented like, so many a time science and technology helps us in increasing the comfort. You see how we are sitting in such a nice air conditioned room. Aren't we comfortable? Yes, it is. But many a times we equate our comfort with happiness. But there are many people who are comfortably miserable also. It means they are located in a very cozy comfort rooms, houses, everything, but they can be miserable also. So if we can bring out the bhavarthas, that is by understanding the mood of the acharya, why he has spoken like that, and then present it in a way where the audience can understand, then it is easy to digest. So in that way, the original purpose of the text also is maintained. Why Prabhupada is speaking? At the same time, it can be presented to the audience where they can understand the very same purpose of the text nicely. No obscure meaning should be screwed out of it. So, obscure meaning should be screwed out of it मतलब original text का जो main purpose जो है, that is lost, and we are trying to actually create a new meaning, and because that has been come out from my own gray matter, and that I am presenting it. That should not be like. So no obscure meaning should be screwed out of it. Yet it should be presented in an interesting manner for the understanding of the audience. So if you see Srila Prabhupada's presentation, even in his lectures, when he actually speaks anything, then immediately he backs up with the Shastric reference. And also according to the principles of Nyaya, a certain analogy where we can experience or where we have experienced, that analogy is presented so that the concept is easily understood. So Srila Prabhupada gave so many analogies by which the concepts, the deep philosophical concepts, are easily understood by even a layman. So this is a very interesting except from this purport, that what is realization? And Srila Prabhupada here himself is talking about his own purports. The second statement says, this is actually a reference from GBC meeting with Srila Prabhupada, when many of the GBC leaders are talking with Srila Prabhupada in May 28, 1977 in Vrindavan. So ये अभी जो मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ, ये सारे एज इट इज एक ही बार प्रभुपाद ने बताया नहीं है, बल्कि ये डॉट 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 मतलब डिफरेंट स्टेटमेंट्स है प्रभुपाद के, which suits to this understanding for our discussion. Prabhupada is saying, my purports are liked by people because it is presented as practical experience. Many people actually came and they said, Shri Prabhupada, your purports are so lively. And then Prabhupada is saying, our translations must be documented, they are not ordinary. इसका context क्या है? सत्स्वरूप महाराज पूछ रहे श्री प्रभुपाद से, श्री प्रभुपाद आपने काफी बुक्स ट्रांसलेट किया है, और वैसे हमारे आचार्य के, फॉर एग्जाम्पल संदर्भास हो गया एंड मेनी अदर्स, तो उसको अगर ट्रांसलेट करना है तो वो बीबीटी के इसमें पब्लिश कर सकते हैं क्या? उसके ऊपर चर्चा चल रही थी. So then Srila Prabhupada says that they are not ABCD translations. Srila Prabhupada के जो translations है ना, कभी कभी हम वर्ड टू वर्ड मीनिंग देखेंगे और ट्रांसलेशन देखेंगे। वर्ड टू वर्ड में कुछ शब्द जो है, पदार्थ, वो ट्रांसलेशन में दिखता नहीं है। तो पदार्थ में तो दिख रहा है, लेकिन अनुवाद में तो दिख नहीं रहा है। ये क्या है? तो समवन में अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज दिस इनकॉन्ग्रुएंस और सिंक्रोनस नहीं है ये। सो Prabhupada himself actually explains what is his writing style or what is his translation style. So he says there are two ways to translate any text. One, transliteration, and the other is translation. So transliteration का मतलब word to word meaning निकाल के उसका as it is जो है वो निकालना। और दूसरा है जब भी कोई एक डिस्कस किया उसका भाव अर्थ होता है, दैट इज कंटेक्सुअल मीनिंग, हिडन कंटेक्सुअल मीनिंग, और पूरा चैप्टर में ये किस फ्लो में जा रहा है, किस कंटेक्स्ट में जा रहा है कन्वर्सेशन, उसके हिसाब से ट्रांसलेट करना। सो फॉर दैट वन नीड्स टू बी मोर रियलाइज्ड। इट कांट बी लाइक ABCD ट्रांसलेशन, वर्ड ले लिया, उसको संस्कृत के ग्रामेटिकल नॉलेज है और उसका एज इट इज ट्रांसलेट कर दिया, वैसे नहीं होता है। फॉर दैट वन नीड्स द advancement in the devotional life. Only then they can actually understand the bhavarthas and they can present it. So that is why Srila Prabhupada's purports are not just ABCD translation. And what makes it special? What is the qualification to make such kind of commentaries? One needs to be simply become realized. That is what Srila Prabhupada is saying. Okay, so if at all, if we have any discussion, we'll discuss. It's already 3 o'clock now. किसी को कुछ अभी तक जो डिस्कस किया उसके ऊपर कुछ बोलना है तो बोल सकते।
Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask one thing that there is this thing called devotion service, and on the other hand, we have institution of ISKCON. So
और एक बार
we have,
थोड़ा जोर से बताइए, आपका आवाज थोड़ा धीरे से आ रहा
प्रभु जी इतना इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन नहीं है, मैं ऐसे पूछ रहा था कि एक तो हम ऐसे शुद्ध भक्ति की बात कर रहे हैं अभी, और एक्चुअल में यही दिस इज गोल ऑफ लाइफ, दिस इज सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट। एंड दूसरा हम स्कूल में रहते हैं तो एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होने के नाते यहाँ पे बहुत सी चीजें हैं, तो कई बार हम उसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को वी टेक दैट मोर इम्पोर्टेंट योर डोंट सर्विस। हरे
है। दादा
कृष्णा।
प्रभु,
It's not clear for me, Prabhu, and that who is speaking
yeah,
the.
I was also not able to understand.
We have
Uh,
now I think it will come.
no, now it's okay.
Prabhu, nothing important. I just want to ask, we actually the goal of life is this pure devotion service, but we are in ISKCON, and ISKCON is a organization also. So many things come along with organization. Organization is something complete, almost different thing from pure devotion service. So especially I get carried away because of this organization things or things related to it, Prabhu. So how to handle both the things simultaneously?
ये तो हमारा पूरा जीवन भर का क्वेश्चन है।
But
In short,
responsibility.
I'll actually send a particular lecture to you. Probably we both of us can hear together that lecture. Hare Krishna. Is there any other discussion?
Is it responsibilities within the ISKCON organization, Prabhu? Like
Yes, he is talking about the institutionalization versus the
Bhakti.
text what we are actually reading now as a pure devotional service. In one
Okay.
sense, Srila Prabhupada himself tells that ISKCON is like my body.
Hmm.
So when we try to see all the activities, whatever are happening in the institution, are carried out for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, then the institution is not different from pure devotional service. However, tuning our consciousness to that level takes good level of advancement, and sometimes it may not be possible for us because the institutionalization requires few things. And if we try to see with the perspective that how it is actually serving Srila Prabhupada's instructions, then we can actually take the institutionalization framework as a part of devotional service. This is the principle. However, the details and the contexts that would vary from time, person, and place.
Hmm.
We see same thing in the times of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. He did not allow Haridas Thakur or Rup Goswami, Sadan Goswami to visit Jagannath temple. At the same time, he gave them, they were so great devotees and he loved them so much.
So similarly, if someone is not institutionally doing are not able to fit, it doesn't mean that they are not practicing pure devotional service. That is one misconception which many may have. Even during Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj was not actually ferociously going on preaching out and doing big services or doing administration. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has approved him because he has the adhikar to chant, and he was actually chanting happily. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur understood his adhikar and encouraged. And whereas Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted to do the administration of the Gaudiya Math, so he has actually engaged good devotees who have that nature to administer in their appropriate roles. So one should not understand if a person has a good administrative skills means he is good in his devotional service.
प्रभु जी
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा
So,
मंगे तो आपको समझ में आया
क्या प्रभु?
एक मंगेश प्रभु हैं हमारे जो जुड़े हैं क्लास सुनते हैं काफी प्रभु जी उनको पूछ रहा हूँ मैं कुछ समझ में आया उनको क्या आज हमने क्या डिस्कशन किया है
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Hare
हाँ कुछ
Krishna.
कुछ समझ में आया आपको आज
प्रभु जी आज ज्यादा एक्टिव नहीं था, थोड़ा सा आवाज भी इनिशियली शुरू में कम आ रही थी और उसके बाद यहाँ घर पे आ गए हैं।
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है प्रभु जी हरे
Okay,
कृष्णा
प्रभु.
बाकी रिकॉर्डेड क्लास में
जो
एक बार फिर देखूंगा तो फिर थोड़ा सा प्रभु जी।
अच्छा, कोई बात नहीं प्रभु. We will try to work on the audio.
यस सर।
श्री प्रभुपाद की जय.